How's it going, everybody? Atomic Time Traveler here with another video for you. Before I continue, make sure to like, comment, and subscribe down below for future videos and more content. So let's jump right into this. Today, we are reviewing what I call the Boyo build, version 1. This build is taking Zane down a very different path. Prior to this, I've used several Zane builds. He's a powerhouse. He dishes out a ton of damage. He's unstoppable. But what this does, it makes Mayhem 10 more interesting and kind of balances it a little bit, or at least with the newer weapons. All the enemies have the same health, but Zane is losing gun damage. And we abandoned the drone. This is strictly a clone barrier build. The footage in the background you see is Mayhem 10 with Mayhem 10 weapons, old and new. Alright, so this build is, again, scaling down as much weapon damage as possible for Zane. The way that Zane gets a lot of his damage is by not standing still. Zane has several speed skills in his skill trees. So with that being said, to start off this build, believe it or not, we have 1 point in violent speed and 1 point in violent momentum. There are no points in Supersonic Man. So our speed is shot. We're not moving super fast. We're not getting a lot of extra damage. Our action skills are also not up for very long. So we only have 2 points in Synchronicity and 1 point in Borrowed Time. And with us not having anything in Good Misfortune, again, we're losing out on extending those action skills. Now that we've kind of nerfed Zane, so to speak, we are needing now to buff Zane. We're going to start in the green tree for this. We have 5 points in Ready for Action, 3 points in Hardy Stock, and a point in Confident Competence. This increases Zane's shield and also our shield recharge delay. So this is giving Zane essentially bigger shields and the ability to replenish it faster. Something else we're doing to help Zane out in this build is Rise of the Occasion. This is kind of counterintuitive to having a bigger shield, but shields go down super easy in this game. So the lower our shield is, we get health regen on this. I could put 3 points into that. We gave 3 points to Stiff Upper Lip, 1 point to Futility Belt, and 1 point to Really Expensive Jacket. Expensive Jacket is going to help us just get out of cryo faster. We're just kind of escaping those negative effects quick, helping get Zane to a positive point in battle. Stiff Upper Lip, we're increasing damage resistance. That keeps our shields up longer, which is nice. And then we're going to have a point in Futility Belt. Now this one is a little tricky. Once we kill an enemy, all elemental damage is converted to non-elemental damage. And then it gives us the non-elemental damage resistance. Even with that being said, this can work against Zane. Corrosive and cryo damage received with the shield active is reduced to 70%. When we convert this to normal damage, we're receiving full 100% damage that we're supposed to. So technically we're receiving more damage than we need to, which is, again, counterintuitive. So be careful with this one. You may want to put this point somewhere else, but for now I have it in Futility Belt. We're going to the blue tree now. We have 5 points in Cold Bore, 5 points in Cool Hand, 2 points in Salvation, 2 points in Violent Violence, and 4 points in Playing Dirty. Now what this does, this gives Zane very high weapon swap speed, reload speeds, fire rates, and the ability to shoot extra projectiles because of Playing Dirty. The other thing it does, we have 2 points in Salvation, so we're also actually getting lifesteal again, giving Zane more survivability. And of course we have Death Follows Close. We can't completely leave Zane helpless, so the extra point in Death Follows Close is nice for him to have. This is going to help out with Violent Violence. This is going to help out with Playing Dirty. Alright, now to the orange tree. We have 3 points in Praemunitus. We have 3 points in Donnybrook, 4 points in Duct Tape Mod, and the 1 point in Pocket Full of Grenades, the 1 point in Fractal Frags. What this is going to do, it's all again going to increase Zane's magazine size for him and his clone. We're going to get increased gun damage, more health regeneration. But the big thing about this build that works, and the way I like it so much and kind of want to push for it to kind of be tested by the community, is with the Duct Tape Mod, Fractal Frags, and Pocket Full of Grenades. Of course, we all know at this point this is going to throw grenades for us on action skill start for the clone, throw a grenade on first shot from a magazine, and our kill skill to regenerate those grenades. All that is crucial because we're throwing on a Fish Slap grenade, and for this build, I threw on a Cut Purse Victory Rush. This is going to give Zane a large amount of ammo regeneration. Now, the effect does not stack, but with these 3 skills in the orange tree active, and us constantly throwing up our clone because he's going down pretty fast, we have a steady stream of grenades coming out. This is going to replenish ammo, again, non-stop for Zane, and that's because Cut Purse Victory Rush on melee damage replenishes ammo. Fish Slap Grenade is melee damage. It's getting thrown, again, consistently, so we're consistently getting that melee damage to replenish ammo. For our skill augments for Zane, again, I changed these up a little bit as well. I normally throw on Charged Relay, but with him having movement speed that increases damage, but I took that off. I kept All Rounder on for fun. Just as I tested with it, it's what's in the video. I threw on Deterrence Field. Enemies take shock damage when they touch the barrier, they're staggered. I really noticed it on smaller enemies. For the clone abilities, for the skill augments, which one's real is very useful here. Really throwing the clone out very frequently. It helps divert attention away from Zane, so he can dish out more damage, and enemies are distracted by the clone. The other thing that I used here, Schadenfreude. When the clone takes damage, Zane's shield's restored. You can't use other ones there if you like. For weapons, I kept 390 anointments on. Once you hit that 90% mark though, you're going to notice a big drop off in damage. This is important to kind of swap out weapons at this point. Things like the OPQ did really well. It's just a really powerful assault rifle, but other guns I started noticing a big difference. With us not really needing Sentinel Cryo anointments, Barrier Crit is your next big saver. Getting that extra critical damage is very important. You can swap to Action Skill End, Action Skill Start, and Clone Swap anointments. They're going to help you out by getting more damage. There is some math involved there if you're not aware, to where there is diminishing returns. So they're not as good as having the speed on there or the Sentinel Cryo, for example. That gives you way more damage than Action Skill End, Action Skill Start, and Clone Swap. For shield, I threw on the Transformer for this one because I was using OPQ. With those shock damage bursts, I quickly found out I was still going down. And since we're not using Seeing Red in the skill tree, I gave Zane the good old Seeing Dead. And also with this one, because again, we've nerfed Zane to help him out, you want to find as many damage specific bonuses as possible. So look for SMG damage boost, splash boost, even vendor boosts like Hyperion, Torg, Atlas damage increases. You want to get those. Again, you want to help Zane out as much as you can since we took away his speed. So guys, that's really it. That is version 1 of the Boyo build. Again, this is meant to give us a really different feel for Mayhem 10. We jumped in Mayhem 10 super fast. In this build, Yellow Cake does not one-shot enemies like it used to. It's great, honestly. It gives the game a very nice feel. Again, I think this is what Mayhem 10 is going to feel once all the balancing is taken care of. I know they're not going to nerf a lot of weapons. I know weapons are going to get buffs, but it gives it a challenge to what Mayhem 10 is. So, with that being said, guys, that's the end of the video. Please let me know down below what you think. Again, like, comment, subscribe, and then I'll see you guys in the next video. Thank you.